एक समोलोगिस्ते तो किरियो ते agathos alleluia
Otistonne ona to eleo saftu alleluia.
By the way, it adds that a man's not escaping.
I don't disagree with that.
Yeah.
Because you're forgetting the other type of will that we affirm, which is the legislative will.
So whatever.
So we agree. Allah fixed everything, our good deeds and bad deeds. But
So then
did
what are
God,
you judged for?
right, we are judged for what we've been legislated.
What you done, bro? You're few all. Back up.
There you go. You're not accountable where you're born, which country you're born. That's Allah fixed that. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not hold you accountable for things that's not related to what. No. You asked me the question. So let me answer. Let me answer. I know, but we in Islam, we have more nuance than yours. Yours is more simplistic. So in Islam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decreed and fixed everything. But we divide, there's a legislative will that God told us to do good and stay away from evil. That's what will be held accountable. But what Allah will not hold us accountable are things that is not within our control. For example, where you're born, what ethnicity you come from.
Adultery within our
Wait,
control.
one sec. Yes, exactly. So adultery, I know. I'll get to that. In terms of adultery, yes, God, because God allowed for adultery to happen, right? He fixed it, but he didn't legislate the humans to commit adultery.
Okay, what's the difference between fixing and legislation?
Fixing legislation. No, God fixed everything from his legislation and universe-related will.
Okay, so there's no difference between fixing and legislation.
No, there is a difference.
Okay, so what is the difference?
Okay, the difference is God fixed all of our actions, whether it's good or bad
How
actions.
can we be judged for that then?
Okay, you'll only be judged for the things that you've been told to do or not to do. That's the legislative will.
So if a Muslim, someone who's following,
Did God-
let me
okay,
finish.
good.
If a Muslim is following Islam
Yes,
and they commit adultery,
yes.
what does that happen? Or like what happens when it turns into Will Allah say no? According to the hadith, in which the Prophet said that adultery has been fixed to a man and they cannot escape it, you're not going to be judged for that. You'll be judged for something else because. I take it in Islam, adultery is a sin, and you're commanded not to do that. Yet you are fixed to do it.
Yeah, but you fail to understand the distinction. That's what I'm saying. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala legislated the humans not to commit adultery. But because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had prior knowledge and he pre-written and that he created, right? He knew and he decreed this will happen. But that does not mean that the human who committed adultery is immune from responsibility, because he's conscious that Allah legislated him, commanded him not to commit adultery. But Allah already fixed it because he knew from his prior knowledge, and he willed and he permitted for that to happen. And that he pre-written 50,000 years before the creation of the heavens and the earth.
Okay,
so you'll only be accountable for the things that has been legislated on you. You will not be accountable for the things that is not within your control. For example, natural disasters.
Wait, okay,
or where you're born.
so go back to this. So go back to this Muslim that's now standing in judgment in front of Allah.
Yes.
He's committed adultery.
Yes.
Where
No
does that-
excuse. No excuse.
No excuse.
Because the person would say, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala command me to not to commit adultery, and I did it.
But why can't
justice will
but why
prevail.
can't the person say, Allah, your prophet said that you fixed adultery to me? Is that not a case he can make?
Okay, the reason why, because you know that you are conscious of committing adultery when it was materialized.
What can conscious
So
man
therefore-
do against the fixing of Allah?
hang on. Would Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala hold you accountable for actions that you haven't done?
Yes, you would. Yes, you would.
No, from your perspective, not from Allah's perspective, from your perspective. Would Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala hold you accountable?
Yes, he would.
For the things that you haven't done yet, from our perspective. If I haven't committed adultery yet, Allah will not hold you accountable at that point.
No, but that doesn't
Allah
matter.
will
That doesn't
hold you
matter. That doesn't matter
accountable
because
at the
no,
point
that doesn't
of
matter.
the adultery being-
Wait, that doesn't matter because if his knowledge is infinite,
Yes.
that means, and you're saying is not, and that is fixed. Before time has occurred, to Allah you have sinned. Yes.
in his perspective.
So
yes.
you sinned. There's no escape for you.
But are you conscious you committed sin?
Why does your consciousness matter?
Okay, so are you
If-
saying
if it doesn't matter because
so at the time when you were born, did you know that you're going to commit adultery?
that doesn't matter though.
No, it does matter.
It doesn't.
Because look, this is why you have to look at the two sides of the coin. From Allah,
Who is the judge? I'm not the one that's
Allah is the
getting
judge.
judged.
No,
Right.
From Allah's perspective, He already knows you're going to do this. But from the human perspective, you don't know you're going to do this. But you only know you're going to do this until you have done it.
Okay.
That's why you be accountable.
So you've got knowledge, but then we've also got fixed
Knowledge of who?
No. You're using the knowledge of Allah.
Real quick. That hadith about him saying that Allah will never judge you for something you haven't done.
What we're doing, and he's
Reason we do.
What's it? Sahih Muslim. So that's what Sahih Muslim 2662. Aisha, the mother of the believers, said that Allah's messenger was called to lead the funeral prayer of a child. Okay, I know this one. Yeah.
But He allowed it.
Allah's messenger. Wait, hold on. So according to your perspective, Allah's messenger, there is happiness for this child who is a bird from the birds of paradise. For it committed no sin, nor has reached the age when one can commit sin. He said, Aisha, peradventure, it may be otherwise, because God created for paradise those who are fit for it, while they are yet in their father's loins, and created for hell those who are to go to hell. He created them for hell while they were yet in their father's loins.
Okay.
That actually is more, that's in line with the fixing of adultery.
But how do you understand the term fixed here? I'll give you another hadith.
No.
There was a companion. There was a companion who asked the Prophet, "O
Thank
Messenger
you.
of Allah, if Allah already knew we're going to do this action, should I carry on doing deeds?" And the Prophet, peace be upon him, yes, carry on doing good deeds, because if Allah has decreed for your actions that will take you to paradise, He will lead you to committing good deeds.
But He
And
also
and if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decreed you for you to go to hell, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will point you to actions that will take you to hell. So we are compatibilists.
No,
We-
hold on.
One
Wait,
second.
hold on. I need to understand that. Even according to that hadith now,
Yes.
there are people within their father's loins, no choice now, that are decreed to go to hell. How can,
No choice. Who told you that?
in their father's loins?
No. Again,
Sorry. No, hold on. Someone in their father's loins has choice. Is that what you're saying?
At the point
Answer my question.
No, at the point of responsibility.
Does someone in the loins have choice? Yes or no?
Right, choice. What do you mean by choice here?
Bro,
No, I need you to clarify. What do you mean by choice?
bro, are you,
Because humans.
does a child in someone's womb, in their, not even they said the father's loins, so it's still the sperm, bro.
One second. Choice here.
Yeah?
We believe that you'll only be accountable at the age of accountability.
But you just said differently.
If you die before.
But Muhammad just said differently. That hadith said differently.
Fixed here, meaning in terms of the decree from the universal related will, that God knows this will happen. Not that God said, I allowed for adultery to take place and therefore I fixed it. He didn't
God
say that.
created for paradise
Yes.
those who are fit for it,
Yes.
while they are yet in their father's loins, and created for hell those who are to go to hell.
Yes, and that's regarding
That's people, bro.
universe related will. You don't know the distinction, my brother. You don't know the distinction. This is why.
I could be lost.
No, this is why. If you're going to challenge on Islamic theology, you first have to understand our position.
But you're not. But there's no.
One second.
You're not giving a clear. Hold on.
I have. No. This shows to me.
I'll try and explain.
It shows to me that you're not sincere. Because I've already told you. I've already said we acknowledge that Allah Subhanahu wa Taala has two different types of will. Irada Shar'iyya.
What you've said about.
Am I allowed to solidify my position first?
No, I do understand your position. What I'm trying.
No, you're not, because clearly you're straw man.
No, I'm not.
You're coming from your paradigm. Remember, you're doing internal critique, so you have to engage in my paradigm, not from your paradigm.
Yeah,
what is my paradigm regarding qadr?
You are saying that there is a universal decreed will,
Which is what?
which is what. Well, according to these hadiths,
No. I want you to tell me the general definition.
that God wills for us to do good.
No. You told me that. See, you haven't understood a single word.
Okay,
That's
go
why
on.
I'm wasting my time.
Okay, go on then.
That's why I'm wasting my time.
Okay, go on. Do it. You can go again.
Okay, we believe in two different types of will. The first is His legislative will. Allah willed, Allah decreed, Allah commanded for the humans to do good and stay away from evil. Meaning,
Did I say anything differently?
Wait, no, you have.
I said that.
I'll tell you what.
The first one was that Allah wills for people to do good.
Oh, my days.
That was the first one. You just said.
I'm being it's general. I'm giving you specific definition, not the general definition. I'm giving you a specific definition.
Okay.
There's a legislative will, meaning whatever Allah legislated us, that is what we're going to be accountable. Okay? For example, Allah legislated us in the Quran and the Sunnah to worship none but Him, don't associate partners with Him, be good to your parents, stay away from adultery. That is what we'll be accountable for.
Stay away or don't commit.
Stay away from adultery.
Stay away or don't commit.
Okay, yeah, are you playing semantics now?
I think it's quite important.
You know what, you're such a waste of time, man. You know what, honestly, if you're going to play semantics with me, then I'm not going to waste my time.
No, but stay away gives you a room to say that.
Sorry, I
stay away or don't commit.
I don't talk to people who play semantics. I don't. Okay. Now you haven't understood our paradigm, and yet you want to challenge. Sorry, you're doing internal critique, and if you know what internal critique, I'm sorry, Vince. I'm very nice, but you know, certain people, if you say that I fail to understand, please explain. I have respect for you. But the fact that you're still going on and still strawmanning my position, that shows you're not sincere. And as a humble individual, as an intellectual individual, did I say, you asked me a question about abrogated verses. What did I say? I don't know. I'm humble enough to say, in that particular question, I don't know. Let me do my research. I gave the answer to him. Whether he's satisfied or not, that's up to him. Agree?
Yeah.
So you have to have intellectual honesty. If you don't know certain things, say, I don't know, could you please explain? And if you ask me certain questions that I don't know about my own religion, I'm not going to misinform you, because I know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will hold you accountable. Why did you misguide, what's your name again?
Wes.
Why did you misguide Wes with false information?
Did he fix what you should misguide on me?
Yes, if that is the case, yes, exactly.
He would fix what you should misguide on me.
Exactly.
Right?
So
what you would say to Allah is, but you fixed that I should misguide.
I'll tell you what. I'll have a discussion. No problem. I'll have a discussion with you next week. I'm here every Sunday, if Allah wills, right? And what I want you to do, I really want you to study Qadr in Islam. And then first understand our position, then challenge our position. Do you agree with that? Shake my hand.
I can shake your hand to say that I enjoyed the conversation, but I don't know if I'm going to study on your...
Okay, then don't challenge then. If you don't know our position...
You came here. You came into our conversations.
Speaker's corner, my friend.
So then why are you telling me I shouldn't challenge when you came here?
You got your Christian brother here.
No, but you came here into my conversation, right?
And did you tell me?
Raihan,
don't interrupt.
Raihan,
no, but the point is, I entertain you. You can't now tell me I shouldn't challenge. You came into this conversation.
But it's okay. But it's okay for you.
But it's okay for you to then challenge and say I should challenge.
It's okay for you to interrupt support, isn't it?
Huh?
Yeah, it's okay for you to interrupt support.
No, what?
Double standards.
How is that double standard?
Did I heckle him?
I can even defend that. When support...
But he's right, that there was an ongoing conversation.
Okay, then I apologise.
That's fair. Shake hands on that. Shake hands on that. Thank you.
Okay, then I apologise.
That's fine.
Now, what I want you to do, I want you to study Qadr, know our position, know our Islamic position, and if you have any problem, any questions, come back to me.
You know,
is that fair?
I'll try. Yeah, I'll do what I can. I'll do what I can.
Come over here.
But your issue as well is on the predestination element.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get to.
David, learn your own religion.
What's Allah judging you against?
Learn your own religion.
Raihan, what is Allah judging
I
you
already
against?
answered the question.
They're all over there.
Oh, sorry, who's is it? Who's is it?
What does Allah judge you against?
I don't know who the mics are.
Raihan,
Yeah, same.
I'm going to have a conversation with you.
What does Allah judge you against?
Follow on. After when he's done his bit.
Yeah, no problem.
Raihan, what does Allah
Whose
judge
mics
you
are
against?
those?
How does he determine when
Okay,
you
I'm
go?
gonna put it on the floor or something.
Because from your hadith, it's arbitrary.
I think things just wrapping up now.
Doesn't
I'm
matter.
responsible for those mics.
Which cameras
The labels. Come on.
Anyway, for the sake of the cameras, I just want to read the two hadiths.
Oh, Raihan,
So let me find.
get over here.
Okay, don't worry. I'll take them with me. And, yeah. Wes?
Raihan, get over here.
Oh, thank
What
you.
does
Thank you
Allah judge you against?
All right. So, okay. So I'll have a discussion with you next week. Yeah.
Why? You gotta run a
Do you have
study?
any questions? Come to me.
What
I got questions.
About Qadr?
about Qadr?
I got questions.
So I have to go do research about
Yeah,
that.
because you're not our paradigm.
Yeah, I do.
But I try
Yeah,
to understand it.
No, you
By
might,
asking you questions.
You might misunderstood But you didn't know the distinction.
You don't know
So-
them
so
either.
Come back.
Yeah, but at least he's humble enough to admit that.
Exactly.
No, he didn't say he didn't know them. He claims he does know them.
If we don't know,
He
we'll say
keeps
we
saying
don't know.
universal will and
Vince
legislative
knows
will. We
I'm
don't know
that
what
type
they
of
mean.
individual.
But
I will not
it's-
deliberately win an argument for the sake of
Yeah,
misinformation.
you
I will
would.
never do that.
Yes, you would. You always do that.
Come back next week.
Come back next week, Wes.
Hey.
Not looking to legislate to will.
I ain't got one. You want to do my hair?
Our position is
You wanna do my hair?
We're not hard determinists, and we're neither
Yes, you are.
libertarian. We're in between.
Your heart is
A
hurt.
hybrid.
Yes.
No, you're not.
But you can't distinguish between where the hybrid lies.
So that's why.
That's what I'm trying to get
then
to.
look into next week.
No, but no. If you're just admitting that you cannot actually distinguish between these two different frameworks,
No, I have.
how?
I have.
You have.
I
So
have.
then-
What's the answer?
So then tell us.
Okay,
exactly.
let me give you the answer. When it comes to Qadr, Sheikh Ibn Uthaymeen, one of the great scholars, in his book he says that Qadr is one of the secrets of Allah. So I can't give you.
So it's unknown.
Wait, one second.
So it's
One
unknown.
second. One second. No,
I love this.
No, what we believe in revealed theology. We only stick to what God and His Messenger told us.
But you
We don't
guys
go
never know
beyond
what kind of
that,
means.
yeah? That applies to same.
Can you
with
find the other
Allah's
one that
attributes.
cannot escape?
Yeah. Wait,
Oh
one
yeah,
second, one
absolutely.
second. That goes the same with Allah's attributes.
Keep it
and
in
names,
that's
yeah?
a new tab.
Got you.
We affirm all of Allah's names and attributes that He revealed in the Quran
You're dodging.
and from the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, in the real sense. But we don't go into the modality or howness. That's up to Allah.
So in other words, you don't know.
No, not that we don't know. We have given the knowledge that God has given us. But do we have complete knowledge? Absolutely not.
So you don't know. You don't know that hybrid.
No,
That
you have to qualify.
wait, hold on, wait, no, wait. That system that you just said.
You see where it's
Hey, come on, man. That system that you just said.
Yeah.
You are saying that it's a hybrid, but you don't actually know
what the hybrid is.
exactly. You don't know what that is. So in other words, wait. So in other words, for these situations like adultery, for murder, for lying, you actually don't know if it's your free will, so the libertarian side, or if it's been fixed by Allah Himself. You don't know for all situations.
No, you misunderstood.
Because you said there's a hybrid that you can't.
You didn't explain it properly.
That's why I was asking you questions.
No. You misunderstood, Wes. What I'm not claiming is I know
You
how.
said it was a mystery.
Can you? Hold on 1 second. What I never claimed that I know how the decree of God works. What I'm explaining to you is these are amongst the secrets of God. And I
So
just
you're
explain.
appealing
Wait,
to mystery.
1 second. Just because I don't know how it operates, does that mean there is a logical contradiction?
Yes.
How
Shall I
much
tell you
do
what? Shall I tell you
wait,
why?
let
Shall I tell you
me-
why?
let
Shall I
me-
tell you? No,
let me-
I'll tell you. I'll tell you
Let me
why.
give an example. Let me give an example.
Okay.
So how much do you know about your soul, the reality of soul? How much do you know?
How much do I know about
Do you
it?
believe soul exists?
Yes.
How much do you know about your soul?
You could only know so much.
You can only know so much. That's what I'm trying to say. So I never said we have complete knowledge because Allah is Al-Alim. Allah is all-knowing. But we only know what God and His Messenger told us.
How
That's
does
all.
Him
Okay.
not know it
Okay.
leads to
I can.
contradiction?
So
Does that make sense,
So with the soul, I can say I know where it originates from. I know what it's accountable to. I know what it
How it
automates.
works, I don't know.
Okay, yeah. How it. So in other words, the material itself, or how, and all of that stuff, I may not know. So the mechanics of it, I may not know that.
Yeah.
But I know what it's accountable for. I know
Yes,
all of
yes.
these things from
You
the
got it,
text.
you got it,
Right.
you got it.
Now, from the text,
Yeah.
you have said that there are two wills of Allah in which there's a hybrid, right?
Yes.
But you are
Of our actions.
you are saying you do not know how those wills work.
Correct.
Right? But if you don't know how those wills work, you also don't know how the hybrid works too.
Yeah. I'm
Right.
conceding.
So if you don't know how the hybrid works too, you will not be able to distinguish between whether this is the libertarian will of God or the fixed will of God. So with your sin, you won't know if this is fixed by Allah or it's your free will.
No, I affirm both.
Huh?
I affirm both.
Yeah, you would have to firm both.
Now,
Wait, hold on.
You have to demonstrate
No,
why
hold
is that a
on.
contradiction.
No, what I'm saying is you would have to firm both out.
How
Wait,
do-
let me
wait,
finish,
wait,
man.
no,
Let
no,
me
wait,
finish.
I
No, let
understand
me
your
finish.
position. No.
You would have to firm both out of your safety. Because you know that if it's the free will one, you'll be punished for that. But if it's the fixed one, you won't be. So for the sake of your own safety, you would have to say, I actually need to acknowledge that I'm just going to take it all as free will. But you said it's a hybrid, which you actually don't understand. So well and truly,
I can see that.
let me say, well and truly, as you live your life, you do not know which sins are accountable to your
No,
soul.
with the greatest respect, I think you oversimplified our theology. I said that we have
You
a new...
said it was a mystery.
David, are you going to shut
You
up for a
claimed
second?
it was a mystery.
Shut up.
So how can
Shut
you
up.
claim he
Shut
oversimplified
up.
it?
Shut up.
Raihan,
Fat boy,
David.
you're
Shut
going
up.
brave now.
Now, where's
All right. Cool.
With the
I like
greatest-
this.
With the greatest of respect.
Did you understand my
I
question?
understand your point. I think you've oversimplified our position.
But if you said it's
No, we have a nuance.
okay,
We have nuance in our belief in the decree of
Tell
God.
it to us then, Mr. Mystery Man.
Right? What we're saying is that the legislative will of God, that God wished for us to do, that is what we're going to be accountable for. God will not hold us accountable for the things that is not related to our actions. For example, we're not accountable for where
But
we
he fixes the actions for you.
Goodness me.
So
Hold on,
he
hold on,
judges
hold
you
on,
against the
hold on.
actions he fixes
For
for you.
example, God will not hold us accountable to where you're born. We don't believe in
What
caste
he
system.
would
Okay,
do.
wait, one second. We're not accountable for the natural disasters.
Okay.
We're not accountable for where we're born.
Okay.
Where we're gonna die. Or who our parents are. That's not what we're going to be accountable for.
are you accountable for adultery?
Yes. Like that's God already legislated us do not commit adultery. So
But
that's
then,
what
but then, if he's fixed that, you just said, if he's fixed it to us,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
You are acknowledging that, in other words, a man committing adultery is the same as a tornado striking a city, according to Allah's will, His decreed will.
Yeah, but accountability.
Right.
The natural disasters you're not going to be accountable for.
Pardon?
Having cancer, for example. Okay, having cancer, you're not going to be accountable for that.
No, but they're still within the bucket of Allah's decreed will.
Yes.
So they're
No, I'm saying-
fixed.
Yes, that's the general. He fixed both his legislative and universe related.
So what is the-
But what we're going to be accountable for is what God told us to do.
But if no one is, no, but if no one is accountable for the tornado, right? How can and the tornado is in the same camp as the adultery? Who can be accountable for the adultery, who can be accountable for that adultery when it's been decreed by Allah, just like the tornado has been
But
decreed by Allah?
Again, when you use the term fixed, I'm saying both his legislative will and universe related will. But what you're not going to be accountable for are the things. Are the things that you're not accountable. For example, you're not.
No, you're going to be accountable for the things you're not accountable.
Yeah, you're not going to be accountable for the things that is not within your will. You didn't have a choice where you're born, correct?
Will.
Yes. No, you didn't have a choice. You didn't have a choice where you're born.
But-
where are you from? You're from.
No, but the thing is,
God, wait, hang on. God decreed and fixed that you're going to be born in a particular country. That is not within your choice. That's not what you're going to be accountable for.
It's not my fault for the tornado, right?
Yes, correct.
My free will is not there with the tornado,
Yes,
right?
yes.
My free will, according to the text, is not there for the adultery too, because that's fixed. Because it's under the bucket of that decreed will.
Again. I'm going to say it once again. When he says fixed, we affirm God fixed both his legislative will and his universe-related will. But you're still accountable for the choices that God has given you, good or evil. But what you'll not be accountable for are the things that you didn't have a choice. For example, you didn't have a choice where you're born. You didn't have a choice.
Is there a sin we don't have a choice for? Is there a sin that we don't have a choice for?
Is there a sin that you didn't have a choice for?
Yeah. Because the whole point of this is sin.
No.
All right. Look,
That hadith is talking about universe-related will.
but it's sin though. Adultery is sin.
I know. So from the human.
So in other words, sin. So in other words, you've got to include that in that universal will,
Yes.
sin occurs.
Yes, I agree.
So that means that sin cannot be accountable to anybody, just like the tornado is not accountable to anybody.
No. The sin. This hadith, when he talks about the fixed decree, is not saying that your action is not accountable. God fixed your adultery because He knew. But you're not. But you're still going to be accountable because God has legislated you not to commit adultery.
But
that's what the hadith is
But
saying.
if you give a slide, I guess, to nature in the sense that tornadoes are unaccountable to anybody and they're under this will, right? You unfortunately you equate sin to natural disasters.
I didn't say natural disaster is sin.
No. I said you equate it in the sense that it's under that universal decree.
No, I don't see natural disaster as a sin in the first place. Because a sin by Because a sin by definition means going or transgressing or going against the commandments of God. Okay? So in terms of the human, I've been legislated by Allah and His Messenger, stay away from, don't commit adultery.
But you've also
That is
been commanded and legislated by Allah to do this certain amount of sin.
No, who told you that? Give me evidence. Give me evidence.
Abu Hurairah reported Allah's messenger saying, Allah fixed the very portion of adultery which a man will indulge in. There would be no escape from it.
Where did you say he wished it?
Huh?
Where did you say he desired? Where did you say he commanded us to do it?
Fixed.
Fixed.
That's what I'm saying.
I need to mention
Thank you.
It says fixed.
God knows
Wait, it
us.
says fixed.
And there will be, and then on top of that, oh no, wait, I'm sorry, so on top of that, on top of that, it says there will be no escape from that. In other words, your free will is mute.
Let me ask you a question.
I agree. But where does the hadith say that he commanded us to do adultery? Give me the evidence in the hadith.
Well, because it doesn't say the word command.
Yo,
That's the whole point.
So what is so the difference between? Tell me the difference between command and fix.
Let me just say one thing. God knows us better than we know ourselves.
No, this doesn't say no. This doesn't say use the word no. No. If you're gonna play that game, hold on, wait.
I'm not here to play games.
Okay, fair. Okay, then in that case,
By Allah, I'm not here to
in
play
that
games.
case, I don't know why you're asking for an exact word because it says fix.
Because you-
it doesn't say no.
Again, I think what you're committing is oversimplification. Because I didn't say fixed is only in regards to the sin. I'm saying fixed in regards to both his legislative will and universe related will.
they were both fixed.
Where does it say that?
Okay, you're
Where does it say fixed will?
No, you're saying that God
Where did-
fixed.
Can't know the concept of qadr just by looking at one
Yeah,
hadith.
exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. You have to understand.
Can
That's
I
what I'm
jump
saying.
in for
Wes,
1
Wes,
second?
That's what I'm saying, Wes. Calm
Yeah,
back.
go on.
Okay,
Look into
so
qadr, look into
here's
qadr.
where Raihan has
Is he
failed.
your spokesperson?
Raihan
He's jumped
said,
in. Is he your spokesperson?
oh, take that. Now, Raihan has said
doesn't matter,
that
you both
both
jumped
the
in.
universal
He didn't stop
and
you.
the legislative will are both fixed. Here, if this is a universal, the universal claims that every man must commit a degree of
No,
adultery.
where does it say that? Where does it say
And
that?
It says it's fixed.
Did you say command?
Has fixed the very.
I
No,
agree,
okay. So what's the
Wes.
difference between fixed
hold on.
and command?
Wait. Let me
I
finish.
think he fails to
So
understand.
it says
Can I
that
repeat
every
again?
man must
God
commit
fixed
a degree of adultery
everything.
and they
Whether
cannot escape it. Now, the legislation says that adultery is haram, and that's also fixed. So Allah is both making adultery haram, but making a man
Thank you.
commit adultery,
Thank you.
which
Thank you.
is haram.
Exactly.
So you
Wait.
have no choice in the matter.
He's helping me out. He's
Yes,
helping me out.
because
Now,
Allah
I'll
arbitrarily
tell you why,
sends
Wes.
you to
I'll
hell
tell you why.
for
Wes,
things
Wes.
that you cannot control,
Wes,
because He has fixed your adultery and fixed the fact that adultery is wrong.
Wes. I think you've oversimplified the matter. My position
You
is
said it was a mystery, so you
said-
oversimplified it to the nth
Go,
degree.
let Raihan, let go. Sorry, go. Let him.
I said I never said that fixed is only in regards to the legislative will. I'm saying God fixed everything, whether it's legislation and His universal.
Let me ask you a question.
Now, you have to provide me evidence in that hadith where God legislated us to do adultery.
Okay. What I'm going to do is to do that. I'm going to ask you a question. Those two wills, right? Is one will stronger than the other?
What kind of question is that?
Oh, are these two wills equal?
Yes.
So Allah has two wills.
No, types of wills.
Go around.
Types of wills.
The
Distinction.
effects of these wills.
Okay, when you say
come on
wait,
now.
hang on. When you
Yeah?
say Jesus had two natures, is it composed or is it distinction?
There's a distinction, yeah.
Right, so it's the same.
So these two,
It's distinct.
they're distinct.
Doesn't mean two separate wills.
No, but these
Who said that?
these two distinct wills of Allah,
Yes.
right? One of them is universal legislation.
No, not universal legislation.
That's what you
I said
said.
no. There's two categories. Legislative will, what God commands us to do and stay away from. That is what we'll be accountable for. Universe-related will, God permits everything, whether He's pleased or not pleased with.
Which one does the fixing happen in?
Both. There you go. Thank you.
Then you can't escape sin. then.
Halas, because
You
this
can't
whole
escape
time-
sin.
because this
If
whole
the
time-
fixing,
hold- wait,
if
hang
the
on,
fixing,
wait.
wait, okay. If
I'm
the
gonna
fixing,
steal my argument.
no, hold
I'm
on.
gonna steal my argument.
Let me reiterate one more
Okay,
time.
okay.
If the fixing happens in both the free will in which He commands you to do something and you can disobey it, and also in the will in which you cannot escape it, or whatever happens,
what does that
there's no
mean?
difference between these two
No,
wills.
there is a difference because you understood the difference between universe will and legislation.
Bro.
You're implicitly agreeing that there is a distinction.
I'm not.
When you're saying
I'm saying the reason why I asked for your
when the hadith says you cannot escape from it, it's talking about from His universe related will. That's what I'm talking about.
So that means so sin enters the universal related will.
Yes.
So if sin enters the universal related will,
Then that's what's accountable.
then your free will has there's no potency to your free will. It's in the adultery is the same as the hurricane.
No, it's not.
You've put it in the same camp.
Prove to me the equivocation. You have to demonstrate now.
How? What do you mean? I've demonstrated with the hadith.
Demonstrate it. I want you to demonstrate.
Demonstrate
Demonstrate the equivocation. The onus is on you now. You make the claim. You demonstrate.
Tell him.
Allah fixes things. Yes?
In what?
Pardon?
Let's see if you're listening. Allah fixed in what things?
If Allah says that so and so will happen, so and so will happen, right?
No. I want you to be specific. What did He fix?
It means.
The point, Raihan, the point of what I'm saying.
No.
Wait, let me.
I want you to understand our paradigm.
Yeah.
And
What
you
I'm
fail
saying,
to understand
what
our
I'm trying to say is your paradigm doesn't make sense because there's nothing that distinguishes between the two wills. Because you put sin, you have admitted that sin is under the same will in which hurricanes occur.
That's in line with Allah's will. What's the contradiction?
So if sin,
What's the contradiction?
if sin occurs under,
Guys,
if, huh?
To see the clip, that's on if that's okay.
No, let me finish. If sin occurs under the will in which hurricanes occur,
No. Who told you that?
you said that.
Adultery. No, I didn't say that. Who told you that?
Didn't he say earlier that sin occurs in the same camp in which hurricanes occur?
No. Who told you that? No.
You just said that.
No, I didn't.
You just agreed to that just before this guy put this clip on me.
No. No.
When Allah fixes
1
this,
second.
Wait,
That goes against. Wait.
Can I just quickly say-
Sorry. Can I make it very simple? Committing adultery goes against His legislative will. Natural disasters is within His universal will.
what I'm trying to say is legislative will is not potent, has no power.
Prove it.
It doesn't.
Prove it.
It doesn't because people go against it.
Prove it.
Because people go against it.
Prove it.
Do people not disobey Allah?
Yes.
Right. So that will doesn't force anyone to do anything, right?
And who said force it?
Because if it's fixed,
Yeah.
and you cannot escape, your free will is gone.
Yes. But then no.
Right. So that sin. Oh wait. So that adultery doesn't go into the free will Allah's will. It goes into the fixed Allah's will, where hurricanes, where natural disasters, where tornadoes occur.
So you're saying. So
there's no choice there for the man.
So you completely negate the decree of God.
What from your from your theology or from your worldview, I'm saying that the distinctions between those two wills, there's no real distinction there.
Okay.
You can't say that those are two wills.
Are we Muslims? Are we Muslims conscious that Allah told us not to commit adultery? Yes or no?
Doesn't matter. That's what I'm trying to say.
Don't say you don't matter.
No, I'm saying it doesn't matter according to what we've explained.
Wait. The fact that Allah has told us not to commit adultery, that is what we're going to be held accountable. Allah fixed everything, whether our good or bad actions. It doesn't contradict our free will.
but if
you have to demonstrate that.
Because if you are saying that Allah can fix an evil that someone can do.
Not Allah can fix, Allah fixed.
Allah knows us better than we know ourselves.
So not Allah can fix, He fixes.
No, Allah fixed everything.
Right.
His legislative will and His universe-related will. You have to prove to me that adultery falls under the category of natural disasters.
Because Allah fixed the very portion of adultery which a man will indulge
Don't
in.
read from the hadith.
Hold
The
on.
hadith is not going to help you. I want you
Why
to...
can't I? What do you mean? No, I'm demonstrating it. Hold on.
you
Let me
have
finish.
to
Hold
allow
on.
him.
Come
You
on.
have to allow him to give his.
I already interpret the hadith.
No,
No.
but you have to allow him to give his explanation.
There would be no escape from it.
You can't give his explanation from a hadith.
Let him.
He's not a scholar.
Let him. We're not going by your
Whoa.
methods.
No, we're not going by his methods as well.
But
So then there's no conversation.
Okay, one second. You cannot explain this hadith, brother. You don't understand this hadith.
Yes.
You're not a scholar.
You're not a scholar.
You can't put your own perspective on the hadith.
Yes.
Oh, so that's it. It's mute point.
What do you mean? What is
You're
that?
absolutely
So we're
I
done.
can't come
He's
up-
absolutely
So we're done.
I can't
So why don't you say at the beginning, Tomini? Oh, sorry, not. Where? Stop reading. That's it. It's the end.
If I don't know anything about
Because
the
you're
Bible,
insisting.
One second. If I don't know anything about the Bible, can I put my perspective on
People
the
do
Bible?
this all the
You do this all the time. That's how you guys say that
This was
Jesus is
the
not
Bible.
God. You're the ones who tell me that.
bro.
Yeah, but
Come on,
this
man.
is a deep was the
Did
Bible.
you know?
believe
Did
you
you
even
know when he
saying
says you cannot escape from it? Did you know how we understand that understanding?
You haven't said. Okay, how do you understand? How do you understand that term?
I've already said it. This is talking about his universe-related will, that God permits everything, whether bad or good, will happen. Okay.
So you can't
But
escape the
we-
bad. Say you cannot escape the bad.
We cannot escape from the bad. But
So that means a man on the world cannot escape from sin. Okay,
One second. But does that mean that God told us to do evil? Is he telling us to do
Because
adultery?
it's already been fixed.
What he's talking about is universe-related will. That God fixed it. This person would do adultery. But is he saying, because he's going to commit adultery, I'm still going to take him to hellfire because I didn't tell him not to commit. Because I didn't tell him to commit adultery. That's why, as the brother said correctly, may Allah bless you.
Sounds like a
You
lot
cannot base on one
saying.
hadith.
I'll tell you what it sounds like to
cannot
me.
base
Shall I
on
tell you what it sounds like to me? It sounds like someone has a child that they put on the top of the slide and they say, don't slide down that slide, and then he pushes him down the slide. Whose fault is it?
Sorry.
That's what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like.
Exactly.
You put him on the top of the slide, you say to the child, don't you dare slide down that slide, and then you push him down the slide.
10 times.
Is that 10 times? Like, so whose fault is that?
That hit you, right? You understand?
You
that
understand?
one,
Yeah? You hear that?
Okay.
Okay, God is okay. We're not pushing the child. That's what you don't want to understand.
Exactly.
God is saying don't slide down, but He's not pushing us to slide
Exactly.
down. That's
But he wrote it down, he fixed it.
Did he tell us to push it?
Yeah, he told the child. Yeah, in the analogy.
No, tell me the hadith, no.
I tell the child, don't go down the slide. Then I shove him down.
In this hadith.
don't
In this
shove him
hadith.
down.
Yes.
You just tell him not to slide.
Yes.
That's what you don't understand.
Yeah, he's telling him exactly. I tell him not to slide, then I push him down. I fixed it. I fixed that he will slide down the slide 10 times.
Wes, you said natural disasters equate adultery in this hadith.
Yeah,
Prove it.
I just,
Oh, you're the knowledgeable person in this hadith. The onus is on you.
I just have.
No, you haven't.
I mean, it's the same with the tornado. God pushes the tornado down the slide.
Prove it.
Same with the child.
Prove it.
I think we're done, man.
No, prove it.
No, I think we're done, man. I think we're done.
No, prove it.
I think I can't prove it, man.
So you can't prove it.
Yeah, people will see on the
Because you
cameras that I
don't-
prove
because
nothing.
You know why, Wes?
Why?
Because you
I'm
don't-
not a scholar.
No, because you don't understand our position first to critique. In order for you to critique, know our position.
Okay.
Because what you're doing, you're just based on this one hadith. If
That-
I do that with
that
the
is- I
Bible,
was
you're
gonna
not
say-
gonna like it, would you?
No, but that's what
You're not gonna
that's
like
what
it, would
everyone
you?
does. I don't understand when you say know your position. If you're saying
Wes,
what you say when you
Wes,
say
before
wait, sorry,
you spoke to me, Wes, before you spoke to me.
before you spoke to me.
No, but okay, sorry. The other one. The other one. All right, that's a good one. Good one. Okay. Did you know about the position of the two different types of will of Allah? Did you know? Be honest.
No.
Okay, خلاص.
No, but you have to understand.
But
this.
what's I don't
Wait,
understand.
One second.
But, no,
It doesn't. That doesn't matter.
Exactly.
He can still critique from what he is seeing. Right, and it's your position.
so that means I can't ever see. No, wait. Wait. That means that you can never ask any Christian here about Christianity unless you have studied that Bible inside and out. Unless you've understood every single denomination. Exactly the same thing.
That's great.
Exactly the same thing.
Wes, that's a great point you made. But did you come from a position of challenging, or did you come from a position of learning?
What?
Be honest.
Oh, so you want to convert to Christianity?
No.
You're coming here to learn about Christianity. Is that what you're telling me? Is that what you're telling me?
Wes, I think
No,
you
be honest with me. No, be honest with me.
Okay.
When you said learning, are you coming to question Christians to learn about Christianity, to convert?
Wes.
You're coming to challenge.
Wes.
That's what we're doing.
Wes. Oh, so you did come from a position of challenge.
That's what we're doing.
Okay, in order for you to challenge, you should know our position first, and you didn't know.
What?
Be
That doesn't-
intellectually honest.
Bro.
Wes. Be intellectually honest.
When you say know your position,
Wes, I'm not going to run away. I'm here every
yeah.
Sunday.
When you say
Comment.
when you say know your position, the way you're using that is as if I have to accept. I have to accept your
Let me
position.
give an example.
That's what it sounds
Let me
like.
give an example. As a Muslim, I say, you know the doctrine of the Trinity, you believe the Father is the Son is the Father. And I come from a position of challenge. You're going to say, you want to come here and challenge about our Trinity. You don't even know our position first. Go and learn our position. And that's what you're doing. That's what you're doing right now. Hence, that's why not all Muslims know how to argue. That's my point.
But I don't
Okay,
think you. You have a general knowledge of what it means, what predestination means. You've applied that.
Exactly.
No, but
He's applied his general understanding of predestination.
It doesn't count.
It does, because
count.
it falls.
Because you have to do internal critique.
Your view falls
He's
in line
challenging
with that.
our paradigm. He has to know our position first, and he doesn't know our position.
No, but for what I've given fails what I'm challenging.
No, it's not about failure.
Do you not
We're not
think
here to win or lose.
No, I said, not fails in that way, but it doesn't pass what I'm challenging. I am showing that there's no.
to critique something? Do you not think that you need to have
not
some
right.
basic knowledge
This is
about
not right.
Whoa,
He's talking about predestination, generally speaking.
From his
asking-
paradigm.
I'm
Yeah,
asking
but
a
it still falls in line with
No.
what you're saying.
No,
is he
If
challenging?
Allah wills that I will sin, right? If Allah wills that I'll commit adultery 5 times, it doesn't matter if I'm told yes or no.
It does matter.
No, it doesn't, because
matter.
I can't go against that fixed thing.
Timothy.
I can't do nothing about that.
Timothy.
And that's the paradigm. Correct me if I'm wrong, brother.
Yeah,
That's
that's
where you're
what I'm
coming from,
going-
right? If I can't do anything about it, why is God judging me for it?
Again.
That's the point.
Did you see why God is judging? Because you didn't know the distinction between legislative will
You never heard what I just said. No, you never heard what I said.
Timothy,
Raihan, you didn't hear what I said.
I
Let me
heard you,
say it
Timothy.
again. Let me say it again, Raihan. Let me say it again.
Go on.
At that point, it doesn't matter what's legislated.
It does matter.
Why? Let me
It does
tell you
matter.
why.
It does
Because
matter.
if Allah has fixed that I'm going to commit adultery 5 times, and then He tells me 5 times don't commit adultery, He's already fixed it.
He's pushed
I
me
can't
down
do
the
nothing
slide.
about-
He's
I
pushed me
can't
down
do
the slide
nothing.
5
Do you see
times.
my
Do you see-
point?
do you see
I
both
can't
of
wait 1 second. Let me land. I can't go against that decree.
Yeah.
It's a difficult one.
Raihan, even he's saying it to you, bro. We understand this because we know what.
I
Raihan, let me
understand.
let my last point. We understand predestination doctrine, right? And your religion is teaching that. That's where he's coming from. And his argument. Hold a second. His argumentation makes sense without having to know the fullness of what you're saying.
Sorry, Timothy. You came, if you want to challenge somebody's position, you have to know their position first. And he didn't know about our theology, the distinction between legislative will and universe-related will.
What does my lack of knowledge take away from my critique?
Wait, 1 second.
What does my lack of knowledge on that take away from my critique?
One second. Because it changes everything. Because if you don't
Changes the world, man.
don't know our position in the first place, and if somebody enlightened you about it, then at least use that as an opportunity to say, you know what, I want to challenge their position because I didn't hear about that. I'm going to challenge. But now,
Okay, I've heard about it now and I'm still challenging. So there's no change.
because you're still regurgitating your position.
Because I'm showing
which
that.
I'm not interested in.
No, but
What I'm interested in is, did you understand our position? And you still haven't demonstrated. You still haven't demonstrated how committing adultery equates natural disasters.
because you have admitted on camera that the adultery and also the hurricanes go under that fixed will.
Correct.
You admitted that.
Okay.
So in other words, there's no distinction.
When he was describing the hadith, you brought up tornadoes. You brought up where someone was born, but he was talking about adultery. He was talking about sinful things.
And you admitted on
So
camera that you put them
conflated those
exactly.
things together. You did that.
And so by doing that, you've basically made the other will redundant.
Thank you.
You see, you still haven't understood universe-related will. Allah's universe-related will means Allah.
At the same time. Four of us talk at the same time.
You see, again, you're not listening. Universe-related will means Allah has permitted everything, evil and good.
Yeah, hurricanes and adultery.
Right. Good.
Right.
One second.
Yeah?
1 second. When I said evil and good, right, we're talking about in the context of human as well as natural disasters.
Yeah, I know. So adultery and hurricanes.
Right, okay, fine.
You're right to say.
But the difference between natural disasters and adultery is that adultery comes under the legislative will. That Allah doesn't want us to commit adultery. Whereas natural disasters is not something that is connected to our choice.
Should I tell you what I think? Legislative will, when you say adultery goes under the legislative will, to me,
against the legislative
it goes against legislative will.
Yes.
Allah's legislative will sounds like desire to me. That God desires for one not to do something.
Okay.
But that desire can be disobeyed, or that desire. Well, let me finish.
That's universe related will.
No, then you're mixed. Don't you understand? You're mixing up those two wills.
No, don't.
No, because where does the hurricane isn't universal. Wait, hold on.
With all due respect, you didn't even know about these two different wills, and then you're correct.
I don't need.
I'm the one that informed you about it.
Okay,
right. The point is this. No, 1 second. Why would you be accountable for adultery, and why would you be accountable for natural disasters? The reason why.
No.
Wait, 1 second.
Yeah, but you stop me from flowing there.
No, Wes. You're equivocating natural disasters with adultery in terms of accountability.
Why?
Why?
Why am I doing
Because you
that?
misunderstood my point.
No.
Yes,
Why am I
I'll tell
doing
you
that?
what,
No. Why am I
I'll
doing that?
tell you
Okay, why?
Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded us, do not commit adultery.
No, that's not
wait,
why.
1
No,
second.
still man me now.
No. Wes, I'm not going to steel man your position because you look. With all due respect,
Do you understand my position?
Wes, with all due respect, you're doing internal critique. You have to engage my position, not your position. Just like Islamic dilemma, Islamic dilemma, you're going to have to internally critique our scripture, not from your perspective. So similarly, nowhere does the Quran and the Sunnah say natural disaster is a sin. Because that's not within that. You have wait 1 second. 1 second.
You were the one who equated it. That's the point. You would. Okay, Raihan. Wait, Raihan. Hold on. Raihan. Wait. Just wait. You are the one who said that hurricanes and adultery is under the universal one. It's under universal will.
And you forget.
And universal will is fixed. Good and bad, Allah has decreed.
Yes.
You want to take it back?
And then you are saying.
No, but I agree with that.
And then
you're forgetting.
Well, let me finish. Let me finish. And then you're saying. There is a Hold on. There's a legislative will.
Yes.
In which man can obey or disobey.
No, that man must obey.
But we disobey it.
Oh my days.
Don't you disobey it?
Does he not understand?
No. Isn't it true that? Did Allah tell you not to lie?
Yes.
Do you lie?
Or have you ever lied?
Yes, I've ever lied.
So that will can be disobeyed. The legislative will can be disobeyed.
No, oh my days.
Exactly, that's what I said. The legislative.
No.
That's a definition of sin, isn't
No,
it?
Exactly. Bingo. Bingo. That's how we get sin.
No.
If you from the Islamic perspective, what I'm saying.
Let me speak.
Let me just finish. What I'm saying is, from the Islamic perspective, judgment happens when you disobey the legislative will, but
Divine disobedience.
Huh?
Divine disobedience.
Going against the desire of God, the will of God.
The commands of God.
The commands of God. Yeah.
That's what legislative will means.
That can be disobeyed.
And that falls under?
The legislative will.
No. That comes under universe related will.
No, you said on
Legislative before.
You're mixing.
No,
you said
no, you're mixing.
You're mixing.
The universal
You
one
see,
is the
again,
decree.
again,
Wait, you said the universal one is the decree,
so,
right?
In other words, when we say Raihan, okay, let me just help. When we say universal, we say hurricane. When we say universal, we say hurricane.
Is that the only example?
Or to natural disasters.
No, you see,
No. Just so we know the categories. Just so we know the categories. Just so we know the categories.
Let me define it again.
Okay.
Because I don't think you understand.
Okay.
When we say Allah's universe related will, it means Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala permits everything that happens, whether your
Not to
good
commit
deeds,
sin, Allah
whether
will
your bad
sweep you
deeds,
under the
as well as natural disasters and any other
That's
stuff.
the decree then. That's what he decreed.
I agree. They're both
Okay,
agree.
so we were correct to say that.
One
then.
second. Yes. But what you're forgetting is that the reason why you're not accountable for natural disasters is because you're not being told that natural disaster is a sin. You're only being accountable for the things that Allah has told you not to do things, or you do things.
Okay.
That's the distinct. Therefore, natural disasters is not a sin. And
Where's David?
So why does he understand that?
1 second.
So he's not listening.
Sorry.
1 second.
Okay, should I explain?
Sorry. Yeah.
When we say Allah's universe-related will, it means Allah permits everything. Allah allows good, Allah allows evil, Allah allows everything that happens.
Does he fix anything?
Yeah, I say both. Fixed.
Is there a difference between allowing and fixing?
No. Fixed comes under allowance and commandments.
Wait.
No,
Yo, how do you map that? No, Raihan. So all due respect, sorry, I should not. But like you said under, bro.
I'm not going to repeat again. I'm not going to repeat.
No, you said.
I said. Can I
This is
mention?
very important. We need to understand this.
When Allah He fixed His legislation and His universe will.
It's the universal will we're trying to.
Are you accountable for natural disasters? No, because that doesn't come under the legislation of Allah.
I understand.
But are you accountable for adultery? Yes, because you're going against the legislation.
But can Allah
And
fix?
both,
But can
both of
Allah?
them are fixed.
But can Allah? But when Allah fixes the sin, the adultery, the sin to somebody, where does that lie? Does that go under legislation or does that go under universal?
No, it goes against the legislation.
I know it goes against.
Therefore,
Trust
it's a
me.
sin. But natural disasters.
No, but he's trying to.
I know
understand
it goes
from the
against.
paradigm
I don't get your point.
No.
Remember, I said no, because I said
universal.
I said from what it sounds like, the legislation will sounds like Allah's desire. He desires man not to sin. He desires man to go after him. He desires man to obey his right.
Okay,
that is not fixed.
No, that is fixed.
So both the legislative.
I'm not going to.
So then how can
because
so then if
I've already
there's something wrong here.
No.
Wait,
One second, Timothy.
wait.
I've said this many
Raihan,
times.
there's something wrong here.
Allah fixed everything because He knows He written down.
like he fixed adultery.
Our actions, yes.
So the adultery that
If
you
that person
commit,
commits adultery,
Allah has fixed.
Allah has already fixed. But
So
that person is a sin because the person knows that he's going against the legislation of Allah. But natural disasters, yes, that comes under universal will as well.
I'll see. Okay,
But
let me give you an analogy.
Hang on.
Yeah.
But you're not going to be accountable
Because
you didn't have a choice.
I'll give you an analogy.
you
No,
never
hold
had a
on.
choice
No, wait.
anyway.
I'll give you another analogy. I'll give you another analogy.
Okay.
I create a robot,
No,
right?
I don't use human examples.
Huh? Anyway, I'm gonna still run my analogy. Let's say no.
I don't
I
accept-
use
I
the
don't-
slide
I don't
ones.
accept
No, well, I want you at least hear what I want to say. I create a robot, right? In the robot, I give it this software that says, "Don't do this, don't do that," right? But I create the robot with another software that it cannot. So it's hardware or that runs its hardware to make it do X, Y, and Z, right? So I say to the robot, "Don't walk outside," right? This is the instruction I've given you. But then I put in its software for it to walk outside.
I see what you're saying.
Whose fault is that?
Whose fault? The robot.
Is the
No,
there you
prove
go.
it, prove it.
There you go.
No,
There
prove
you
it,
go.
prove it,
There you
prove
go.
it. No, hang on.
If I make a robot,
hang on.
if I make a
Wait,
robot,
hang on.
right, to
Hang
say
on.
go
Hang on.
outside,
Hang on.
right,
Hang on.
and then I also
Wait,
say to the
wait,
robot, don't
wait,
go outside, and it goes outside. You said it's the robot's fault.
Wait, hang on.
We can't have robots, man. Robots. You hear that?
Wes, are you going to let me talk?
Okay, go on.
Here's the conundrum that you have. If there is a distinction between the legislation will and the universe-related will, what I mean by legislation will is that humans are conscious of obeying God
Yeah.
in certain matters. Okay? But universe-related will are everything that He permits, whether the person does good, whether the person does evil, and also natural disasters and any other stuff.
Yes.
Okay. I'm saying the human is still accountable for their action of adultery because that falls under the legislation. The natural disasters, on the other hand, does not fall under the legislation.
But you have
now, you have to prove to me. Okay, let me create a scenario.
Okay.
If Allah didn't
No,
tell
you
us-
can't. You didn't let me do it. I'm
Hang
joking.
on,
I'm joking.
okay. If Allah didn't reveal us the Quran and the Sunnah to tell us not to commit adultery, and we carry on committing adultery, are we accountable or not accountable?
According to your hadith, Allah has made people for hell while they're in their father's loins.
No, answer my question. If
No,
Allah,
but-
no, I'm giving you a hypothetical.
I've given you the answer.
No, Wes, no, you haven't engaged my point.
No, I've given you the answer there.
No, Wes, listen. If-
According to that,
Wes,
according to what you said,
no.
yeah, Allah will
I'm
still
not talking
throw
about
someone
that
into hell.
I'm asking you, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not command us, do not commit adultery, and we as humans go ahead and commit adultery, are we accountable for our deeds?
I don't really.
Answer the question.
If Allah commanded somebody,
No,
he didn't command. He didn't give the commandment. So if he didn't give the commandment,
Yeah, and you go ahead and do adultery, would you be accountable?
well, I think from a Christian paradigm, no, he's not accountable. No.
Good, and I agree. But if
That's not the case, though.
Hang on.
That's not the case
Wait,
because
wait,
God,
wait.
because Allah,
Wait,
according.
wait,
No, wait, no, wait. Because Allah, according to what your prophet said,
Sallallahu alaihi wasallam, yeah.
according to what Muhammad said, people in their loins, in the people who are within their father's loins, are destined for hell.
Okay. So what?
So that they didn't hear any commandment from God.
Hang on. So what?
They didn't hear any commandment of don't commit adultery. They haven't heard any legislation. Is that true?
Hang on. Destined. Define destined. You're using the hadith. Go on.
If they're
Clarified.
they're fixed, they can't escape it. That's what the hadith said. They can't escape it.
And you're not aware that in the Quran and Sunnah, we are not allowed to commit adultery. Why are you oversimplifying the matter?
But it's what your hadith says.
That's what you're doing. You're oversimplifying.
I'm not oversimplifying anything.
You are.
I'm just going by what your text says.
You said that if Allah did not command us to do adultery, and we go ahead and do adultery, then on the day of judgment, we're not accountable for that, correct? Because God didn't command us to do it. God didn't tell us not to commit adultery.
I'm posing that as a problem for you.
One second.
Yeah.
So are you saying that from the Islamic paradigm, the concept of qadr, there is no concept of accountability? Is that what you're saying?
What I'm saying is a problem. Yeah, you can't understand it. Like you said, it's a hybrid.
I can't understand it.
Yeah,
That's my point.
in other, it's a hybrid. So that means that you do not. That's why I said you do not know the sins that you are accountable for right now.
No, I do.
You
Because
can't.
Just so you know, you're using an atheistic argument to criticize Islam. You know that, right? The same argument can be applied to you. You know that, right?
Anyway.
Same
Yeah,
type of argument.
because in Christianity you don't have a
No, because I have to.
Anyway,
Because
the thing is, I'm not going to go down that route. I'll tell you what, because he wants to know about Islam, about Qadr, so we're going to stick to that. Okay? Now, from your paradigm, do you believe that God knew everything before He created?
knowing something doesn't mean that.
I didn't ask you that.
Okay, yes, he knows.
Okay, so if God knew that you're going to do evil, are you still held accountable?
Yeah, I can still be held accountable
But
for
if
that.
God,
If he knew you did it.
wait,
if he
hang
knew,
on.
if he knows, he's talking about omniscience.
Wait, so we agree that God is all-knowing, God is omniscient, He knows what's going to happen in the past, present and future, and He knows that you're going to commit evil. So if God knows what you're going to do, why doesn't He prevent you from committing evil?
He fulfills that through Jesus Christ.
No.
He does.
No.
Because I'll tell you. No, don't tell me no. Let me finish. No, that's an answer. Let me finish. No, let me finish. Let me finish. It is. No, shall I tell you why? Because if God allows for us our free will to make our decisions and our choices, yet because of His love for us, He still gives us the choice to choose Him through the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ. So that for us, there is a choice for us to make. Whereas for you, you are fixed. There is no choice for you to make to escape sin.
Hang on.
Is that a lie?
Wait, hang on. Why didn't God create a utopian world?
The same with you.
Wait, hang on. No.
Same with you.
No, wait. Because
Same with
we
you.
We know the answer. You don't.
The answer is that you are fixed to do evil. That's what it is. In which you are judged for, which makes no sense.
Right, and you still haven't demonstrated a contradiction. Now, with your point, Wes, if God already knew that there's going to be evil that's going to happen on earth, murder, adultery, all this stuff, right? Why didn't God prevent it?
It's the same with you.
No.
Yes, it is.
No, it's the same with you. Why?
There are
You tell me.
differences, by the way. Let me just say this quickly, right? Going back to the point you make about sin, right? Adam was punished after he had committed the sin, right? So he was judged for the sin that he did.
Based on what?
He was sent to earth.
Well, he was told, no, from a Christian perspective.
Oh, from
he was
Christians.
told.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, from a Christian perspective, he was told.
Sounds like Islamic so far.
He was told not to eat of the tree of knowledge.
Yeah,
of good
that sounds
and
very
evil,
Islamic
right?
so far. Yes.
All right,
Good.
you know, Islam took its inspiration from our scriptures.
No, but Islam rather than us. Go on, Timothy. So why are we disagreeing then?
Oh, no, wait.
No, but there are slight differences.
No,
You have a
you
story
didn't.
of
All right,
Iblis and all that sort of
Go
stuff.
ahead, Timothy. Go on.
And the angels prostrating to Adam and all that sort of stuff.
Okay, go on.
Anyway, what's my point? Adam was punished
Why was he
after
punished?
he had done something that God had commanded him not to
And
do.
God didn't decree that?
No,
God didn't know that? God didn't know that?
No, I'm not saying he didn't know. But I'm not
So what are
saying
you saying
I'm
then?
not saying he decreed it. There's a difference.
Also, he decreed evil for Adam.
Listen.
He decreed evil.
One second.
Wow.
You're not listening.
Wait, hang on, listen.
Where is it? He said don't eat from the. He said don't eat from the.
I'm not saying that.
Carry on,
Let me
Timothy.
clarify.
Carry on,
I think you're mishearing me.
Okay, go on.
Let me make.
Okay, I apologize.
Thank you. Don't make sure you hear me
Sorry,
carefully.
I had Americano. That's all right.
Okay. Yeah, make sure you're hearing me carefully.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
God may have known that Adam was going to sin.
May?
God knew Adam.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
God knew Adam sin. Fair point.
God knew, okay.
God knew Adam would sin.
Okay.
But him decreeing it or him creating Adam to sin is not what we're saying was his purpose.
Wow, so God didn't create Adam to sin.
To sin, no, we don't say that God created Adam to sin.
But did Adam do evil?
He did do evil. He went against. So let me explain.
Okay,
So when God gave him a commandment, Adam had a choice.
Okay.
Right? So then now he can be judged on the choice that he made. Let me make my. I need to land.
But God fixed
No, I need to land. I need to land.
No.
I need to land.
So God didn't know.
I need to land. I need to land.
So God didn't know.
I need to land.
So God didn't know.
I need to
Is
land.
that what you're saying?
I need to land.
Okay, go on.
Now, if God fixed it that Adam would commit this sin, that he said, that he decreed and declared that this is what Adam's going to do.
Okay, yeah.
He's going to sin. I will make him sin.
Is that what you believe?
No, I don't believe that. That's
So
what
God
that's-
didn't know.
You're conflating knowledge and force.
I don't see the difference.
That's the problem.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
That's the
Why is that
problem.
Wait, so God didn't know.
Let me explain my point. I want to get my point out, please.
No, wait, hold on. Actually, if you do not see a difference between knowledge and force, then that means you agree that Allah forces you to sin.
Exactly.
You do.
Exactly.
Prove it.
No,
Exactly.
because you just said that you don't see a difference between knowledge and force.
Wait, hang on. So far, what you're explaining is
No.
in line with Islam. Go ahead.
No, you just said that you. No,
I want you to.
The reason why I'm explaining it is because it's not in Islam, it's not in line with Islam. That's why I'm explaining it to you.
Okay, go ahead then. Go
I've
ahead.
shown you a difference that.
All right, Timothy, go on.
I'm showing you a
How
difference.
Adam fell. Go on.
No, he made a very good point.
No, I want you to go
No,
back
he
to your
made a
point.
very good point, right? You're conflating the
Knowledge and force.
No, knowledge is part of his decree. That's my point.
Yeah, but
Now,
you're
go ahead.
so-
Go ahead.
So in other words, if there's no difference,
He made a point, and I want him to focus on it.
No,
if there's no difference between his knowledge and his decree,
No, it's part of his decree. Knowledge is part of his
if
decree.
it's part of, if it's in there,
So he's
right?
ignorant. He didn't know.
No, listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. If you're saying that God's knowledge, right, and His decree
Yeah.
are together, right?
I didn't say together. I said knowledge is part of
Come
decree.
on, bro. Let's
like-
make it easy for us.
No.
It's
part of it.
Is his
It's part
knowledge
of it.
fixed? Is his knowledge fixed?
Pardon?
Is his knowledge fixed?
Is Allah's knowledge fixed?
No.
You would
I'm
say
asking
yes.
I'm asking you. Do you believe God's knowledge is fixed?
God's knowledge is fixed.
Yes.
Meaning that what do you mean exactly?
In other words, he's saying. In other words, he's saying.
Now-
he's-
wow, now-
No, I
now
don't
you
understand. You're saying.
understand. Now you
You're.
understand.
You said to me
Okay.
earlier,
Okay.
when it came to talking about the word fixed, when it came to talking about the word decreed, you said to me earlier,
Good.
what are the definitions?
Very good.
I'm asking you the same thing now.
Thank you.
Don't be upset.
What I mean by I'm not upset because you now understand where I'm coming from. The term fixed
I'm not
means
affirming your position, by the way. I just need to
the
understand.
term fixed means everything that is determined and there's no change. Does God acquire more knowledge, less knowledge?
Okay, so let me respond to you, right? So when I'm talking about Adam, for example, and I say that Adam is judged for his sin, it doesn't mean that God didn't know that Adam would sin.
I would agree with that.
Yeah?
But I'm asking you, is God's knowledge fixed
Hold on a second.
about
Hold on a
that
second.
affair?
Yeah, but knowing that Adam will sin after creating him and
But is it fixed?
determining that
So it's
Adam
fixed.
will sin
So it's
is a
fixed.
different thing.
No, it's fixed.
Because then
that's
you
what
could,
fixed means.
then you could blame God and say you made
No,
me
no,
sin.
we're not blaming God. That's blasphemy.
No, but that's the perspective I'm coming from. Why
is God's knowledge fixed? Is God's knowledge fixed?
Raihan, that's the perspective I'm coming from.
Is God's knowledge fixed?
Explain to me what you mean by that. When you put knowledge,
determined.
In other words, it's
God's knowledge doesn't differ. It doesn't change. It doesn't.
when you
go
say
up and down.
determined, meaning that, what do you mean exactly? I need
No,
to make sure we
it doesn't
understand.
mean-
Determined means there's no change. If God doesn't acquire more knowledge, and God
So
doesn't
he knows
decrease in
all
knowledge.
things. He knows everything.
Absolutely.
I agree with
Yeah,
that.
but he's fixing. No, but no. He's fixing absolute. He's fixing.
Wait.
He's fixing Allah's, or he's fixing, let's say, God's knowledge as a one-train track. In other
I
words,
use that term. Please
Okay.
use
no,
my
no.
term.
I'll explain why. He's basically saying that God's knowledge is a one-train
I just
track.
want an answer.
In which
I want to
let me
simplify-
finish.
I-
Let me
God's
finish. Let
knowledge
me finish. He's basically saying that when he says fixed, he's basically saying there's nothing else. Anything that happens is God's knowledge. That's what he's saying. So
Okay.
everything that occurs in reality is God's knowledge. Anything that doesn't happen is not God's knowledge
that's
and
what I
therefore
mean.
doesn't exist.
That's what I mean.
What
Thank
I
you very
want
much.
to do. Okay, that's good. I'm glad you're able to agree on something there.
Yeah.
Right? What I want to try and drive this home, because this has been going on for a while.
Sure.
Actually, I want to say something though.
I'm enjoying
I
it.
think though I think that actually limits God, and I'll tell you why. Because if I can think of something that doesn't exist in reality, that means I can do something that Allah can't do.
Okay.
Because what he's saying is that if Allah's knowledge, if God's knowledge is fixed, right? If Allah's knowledge is fixed, right?
How are you?
Then things that don't occur, things that don't happen, also doesn't exist, right? Right?
I don't understand your point. Could you clarify?
You're saying if I'm to wake up in the morning, there's no knowledge of Allah that I don't wake up in the morning.
I don't get that. You have to clarify. Please, I'm trying to understand.
If it's Allah's knowledge that I get a red car, then there is no knowledge that I get a blue car.
Whose knowledge?
Allah's knowledge. In Allah's knowledge,
That's my point. It's fixed.
it's fixed. Exactly. But so in other words, he's saying that reality is fixed by Allah's knowledge.
Yes.
Right? So whatever occurs in reality, is fixed. And if it doesn't occur in reality, it's not knowledge.
Okay.
But I'm saying I can imagine something that doesn't occur in reality.
Brilliant.
I can imagine a unicorn. I can imagine all sorts of different things that don't occur in reality. Right?
So they become-
And he's saying that Allah can't do that.
No, it's
That's what he's
absurd.
saying.
It's absurd to say
That's
that
what he's
Allah-
saying.
No,
I can imagine things that are not in reality.
I don't say can't.
Right?
Like that.
I can do that.
A unicorn.
Like a unicorn, like anything. Right? I can imagine these things. I can picture them in my mind. I can draw it out. Right? But he is saying that if it doesn't occur in reality at all, in any sense, right?
Yeah.
Then it can't
What
exist.
would be considered reality in this situation?
Let them agree. Go on. No, you still haven't agreed. Go ahead.
I think what he's saying about reality is anything that occurs in space, matter, or time.
Okay. So what I want to understand,
Guys,
guys.
10 minutes, guys.
Yeah, that's enough.
No,
That
we
should
have a
be
nice
enough.
conversation.
Yeah.
I thought you said you were. I said 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Huh?
All right, guys, 10 minutes.
I think the most important thing that's standing out to me is something that you mentioned earlier about knowing and
Force.
And that's something that I want to talk about a little. Because when you're speaking about it, how I'm understanding what Allah determines in relation to His knowledge.
You still haven't answered my question.
Say your question.
Is
one more
God's
time.
knowledge fixed after how he explained?
I need to make sure I understand exactly what you
He
mean.
just explained perfectly. I agree. Me and the brother here, we nodded.
No, so you agree that I can think of something.
No, God. We're talking
No.
about God's knowledge.
No, because that's a part of my explanation. I can think of something that doesn't exist in reality, and Allah can't do this act that I'm doing.
No, Allah knows your thoughts.
Huh?
Allah knows your thoughts. God knows your thoughts, right? You agree?
He knows my
Yeah,
thoughts.
yeah, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, does God's knowledge
So
change?
are my thoughts fixed?
Is it changed? If it's not changed, then it's fixed.
He's saying that my thoughts are fixed as well.
Change. No,
Yes.
He knows all things that happen.
Okay, I want to direct. I want to direct.
Do you
response.
understand?
But you're saying,
Right?
but
Is God's knowledge fixed?
he's saying that. Sorry,
Does
go
God's
on. Sorry,
knowledge
let me know.
change over time.
No.
So it's fixed.
Yes.
Thank you.
But
It's not quantifiable.
Raihan, can I
Thank you.
It's
can I
not
explain?
quantifiable.
Can I explain?
Yeah, go
Can I
on.
explain?
Yes.
God knowing everything that will ever happen doesn't mean that He's making somebody sin.
Thank you. Can
Right?
God prevent
No,
Adam from eating
don't
the
say
tree?
thank you. Don't say thank you, right? Because
Come on,
there's-
Timothy.
there's a-
I'm
you're
glad we
saying
agree
thank you.
something.
Wait, hold on a second.
Come
You're
on.
saying thank you as if we agree. We don't agree. There's a difference in our understanding, and that's what I want to highlight.
You just said, I'm glad we agree on something. Before, you just
I
said
was
that.
talking about what
Yeah,
his
so-
definition,
yeah, so
but he
thank you.
disagreed with your definition to some degree because he started talking about the unicorn.
So
example.
God's knowledge can change.
Then I answered you. Let me follow through my point, please. I don't want to go backwards on that again.
I think I've given
No,
enough
no,
chance.
No, wait, I'll try and
I'll give you one more
understand.
chance. I'll
You're
give you one more
basically
chance.
saying,
You're not giving me chances.
you're basically saying,
You're not giving me
it's-
chances.
I'll give you
Ray.
one more chance.
You're
Go
not
ahead.
giving me chances.
I'm just giving you now.
You're not giving me chances. I'm speaking, right? I hope we have respect for each other.
Of course I'm
Yeah,
having
yeah,
respect.
yeah, yeah.
It's not about
I've
giving.
spoken to you before, Timothy.
Yeah, we have, and that's good. Yeah, shake
no
your
problem,
hand.
No
yeah.
problem, Timothy. Go ahead.
The point I'm trying to make is this. I totally accept that God knows all things. I don't disagree with that, right? However, when we're talking about this universal law, or what's the phrase you used again?
Universal will.
Universal
Yeah.
will.
how I'm understanding is that that's something that Allah has predetermined.
I agree.
You will commit adultery 10 times. That will happen.
I agree.
Right?
Because he's knowledgeable. He's all knowing. That's why.
So even though let's say no, there's a difference though.
What's the difference?
Because he's conflating the knowing and force.
Exactly.
He's putting them together.
So God didn't know the force.
No, because
That's what you're saying. You're
saying
saying God didn't know the force.
wait.
When you say
what
when
you
you
just said there is the key to our argument.
So God didn't know the force.
I want to ask you a question actually.
No.
I want to understand.
No, Raihan. That's the
Did-
key
no,
point to
did-
the argument.
no.
That's the key point there.
Timothy West. God didn't know the force.
The force. The what?
You're making the distinction between God knows all things and the force. So I'm asking, did God know that force?
No. When I say force, as in God, you're conflating that God's
Compulsion.
knowledge
Compel.
and you put them together.
Let me explain.
I know. Wait, hang on. But did God know?
This is the
but
key
did-
point.
Hang on. Did God know that Adam will eat the tree? He will eat from
Yes,
the
he
tree.
knows he will eat the tree, but he
have
did not
prevented
force
it? Could
him.
he have prevented it?
Pardon?
Could he have prevented it?
I mean, of course he can. Of course he
Why
could
didn't
have.
he?
Pardon?
Why didn't he?
Because he didn't want to infringe on Adam's free will.
So it doesn't conflict with Adam's free will, right?
Pardon?
Even though God determined it.
No, see, you went from no to determined. Can you see that? No, you've gone from no to
I think
determined.
slowly you're agreeing.
No, wait, no. I need to ask. No, wait. Can I ask him a question? I want to ask him a
I'm
question.
going to support you.
Go on, Timothy.
Focus on what he's saying without asking him another question. Why? Because
I was always on the back for the whole time. I think I can challenge you.
Because
it's all right. You
I
can
gave
challenge.
For the past 45 minutes.
I gave you an explanation, and it's come to this point where we're talking about the knowledge
Is God's knowledge fixed?
and the force.
Yeah, see, that's what he's saying. The God's knowledge is God's power fixed.
Is God's power fixed?
Yes.
Yes.
Whoa.
Why?
You can fix God's power. So is Allah omnipotent?
Do you know what fixed mean?
Well, tell me then. When you say that Allah's power is fixed, what does that mean?
It means there's no change. It doesn't increase and it doesn't decrease. God's knowledge, God's power doesn't increase or decrease. God is always powerful. You agree with that?
Yeah, but you can't quantify
Do you
that.
agree with that? I'm not saying we can quantify. I'm saying
He's all powerful. I'll accept that.
right. So it's
So when you
he's
say-
fixed. So he's fixed.
That doesn't make sense.
Why
I don't.
not?
When
Prove it to me.
no, the reason why I'm saying.
Worship God, or if you don't worship God, he's the same.
Exactly. Thank
What we say
you.
is doesn't change.
Yeah, but when
Some days you're
yes,
tired,
when you're
some days
saying,
energetic,
but when,
God ain't like that.
yes, but when you're when you're saying fixed, it sounds like you're saying that it's always God's power is always at a certain level.
No, I didn't say that.
That's what it sounds like when you use the word fixed.
No.
But it's
I asked you. Wait, hang on. Let me track the conversation
That's
here.
fair.
That's what it sounds like.
Let me track the conversation. I asked you, is God's knowledge fixed? Then you said.
It sounds like it's. In other words, you're containing that.
No, but I clarified it. You asked me, what do you mean by fixed? Are you saying God's power is fixed? I said yes. And then you're having your own laughter, right? Then I said, what I mean by God's power fixed is that his power doesn't increase, doesn't decrease. He's always powerful.
Okay, you can clarify that.
Increase.
Do you agree? Yes or no?
God is all powerful.
I don't know.
No, well,
Yeah, but all powerful and fixed is
Terminology.
The way he's using it.
exactly. It's the way he's
Suggests
fixed.
a measure.
Exactly.
Can you wait one second?
Or
When you say
confinement.
fixed, exactly, and God is not confined.
We don't believe,
Yeah.
we don't believe that God can change over time.
Exactly.
Allah has always been the same.
Yes,
Yes,
exactly.
he's eternal.
So is he fixed?
It's not like a human being. Some days you're tired, some days you're not. God ain't like that. He's
Exactly.
always the same.
Thank you.
No, but your fix doesn't make your fix adds. You're using the word fixed, right? Adds confinement. Like
I'm
there's
using a
that.
philosophical term, not a colloquial term.
Yeah, we got
not everyday
like 5
language.
minutes.
Not
I
everyday
wanna
language.
highlight
That,
the
you're talking
knowing
about physical
and
quality.
To be honest, I think we're going.
That's something that
Physical.
we brought up that he should address.
Properties.
He should address that.
That fixed meaning
The
that is
knowing and the
measured,
force.
that is
There's a
limited.
difference.
I'm talking about God's attributes of his.
Did God make me
all-powerful,
commit
all-knowing.
adultery?
Does that change? Regardless.
No, that's right. So
According
so
to-
we would say
he would-
God is all powerful.
You would say yes. You would say yes or no to that.
When you use the term fixed,
Yeah, but
because
that's what
we
I
use
want
it
to
so often in
Yes,
everyday
we were
language,
there
we're
and
taking
then
it
it
as a
stopped because
containment.
of this whole kind
And
of
it's not.
question.
But I've already
You don't mean it.
clarified. I don't mean by the
You mean
containment.
he's all powerful,
Yes,
all knowledgeable.
yes. And does that
There's no
change?
limits. There's no limits to
So,
it.
Raihan, I can't-
so with that definition and with that clarification I made about fixed, Do you agree that God's knowledge is fixed and God's power is fixed?
I'll be honest, I can't really understand the fixed thing because I said it sounds.
You explained it very well.
One second. Do you
No,
believe
because
that
of-
God is consistent?
Yeah, but consistent and fixed are two different things. Like when you say fixed, you add some sort of like constraint of confinement to
does
something.
God's knowledge increase, decrease, or always?
Yeah, but then you're saying that
It's
you're saying
absolute.
that
That's
knowledge.
what absolute
You're
means.
making
It's
knowledge.
God, all right, let me make it simple.
You're
Is
making
God's
knowledge quantifiable, like
is
that.
It relative? Is God's knowledge relative?
I don't know what that means. Listen, we've kind of listen. Okay, wait, Raihan. I kind of want to.
You still haven't answered my question.
What you were going to say?
No, because I said I don't understand.
You still haven't answered my question.
No, but I said I don't understand.
Is God's knowledge
That's. I don't understand that question.
fixed, meaning that God's knowledge doesn't increase or decrease? He's always all knowing.
I still don't understand
He's
that.
always all knowing, absolutely.
Okay, so did God always knew that Adam will eat from the tree?
Always know.
Yes.
Did he determine that?
No.
No. And I'll tell you why. And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you. No.
How could he know but not to be fixed?
Wait.
Thank you.
You can't cut me off at that point. I give an answer.
I'm asking a
Yeah, I give an
question. I'm trying to
answer.
ask a question.
Right, I've given an answer. Let me follow
Go
through.
ahead, go ahead.
Right? That's fair, right? I said it before, I'll say it again.
No problem.
God knew, right? And it actually ties into what my brother here was saying about Jesus Christ, actually. It does tie into that. But God knew that Adam, you could do that if you
Go ahead.
God knew that Adam would sin.
Agreed?
Yeah?
Agreed.
But God didn't create Adam
Huh?
to sin.
God didn't create Adam
To sin.
To sin.
How could you know something, but it's not?
I'll tell you why.
Didn't
Let me
God
tell you
create
why.
Adam?
Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. When Adam was created, you can touch your head if you want. When Adam was created, right? He gave him a commandment. Do not eat from the tree of the knowledge. You could.
He doesn't understand commandment.
You don't listen.
I'm not even talking. I'm just
Okay,
my
okay,
justice.
okay.
Go ahead, go ahead.
You know knowledge of good and evil, right? If you do, you will surely die. Adam didn't listen to God's command, and because of that, he died. So there was a consequence.
Spiritually, yeah.
So there was a consequence physically.
As
There
well.
was a consequence for his disobedience, right? Which he could be judged for because he had done something against the will of God. That everyone could attest to and say, actually, we know that this is what Adam did. Therefore, his judgment.
What kind of will? Legislative will or
Let me
universal will?
please. I'm speaking from my paradigm.
Good.
Right?
Okay.
So I hope you understand that. So that's why when you're nodding, you have to make sure that you're in my paradigm.
I'm nodding,
yeah?
Timothy. Go ahead.
Thank you. Get my thoughts again.
Okay, no problem, Timothy.
So Adam is judged for something that he knew that he did wrong, right? Now, Adam could say to God under this Islamic paradigm, "Hey, you created me to do this. I had no choice. You determined this for me.
And fixed it so that I cannot escape.
Wait. And fixed it so I couldn't
Can't
escape.
escape.
So I was destined to always sin against you. How could I even call that sin if I had no choice in the matter?
Yes.
Good.
So the whole concept of sin, then, the whole concept of judgment, right? Even the concept of forgiveness, because it's connected to all of these
Yes.
things. Don't make sense. Let me. Don't make sense in Islam.
Okay, go on.
Why? Because truly you can't hold a person accountable for their wrongdoing because Allah determined that they would do wrong and no one could go against that.
it. Yeah, no one can escape.
That's the problem, right? So I hope that made sense.
Okay, I understand your position. Do you want to talk or should I talk? Okay. Do you see, when you say that God didn't determine Adam to commit sin, you conceded that God's knowledge is fixed. And I'm saying fixed in our definition means he determined. So we're just playing
No, I
semantics.
said all-knowing. My understanding.
I understand.
Is all-knowing.
Yeah.
I understand.
I'm saying when I talk about God's knowledge.
Otherwise, wait, one second.
all-knowing, that's all I'm
I'll let you
saying.
speak. I'll let you
Okay.
speak. I'll let you speak. Because God's knowledge is fixed, that means it's determined. Because fixed means there's no change. It's determined. That's what determination means.
Okay.
So you then have to then concede that God did determine Adam committing sin.
No. Because
Yes, why not?
when you're describing it in
Why
the
not?
Islamic paradigm, going back to that hadith, these people.
No, come from your paradigm now.
No, I'm
you
going,
said
I'm
you're
going in between.
No,
right?
I'm going from your paradigm
Yeah, I
now.
hear what you're saying, but let me
Yes.
explain,
Yes.
right? When you're talking about sin, right, this legislative thing, right?
Now forget about that. Let's keep it simple for you. So you say that God commanded Adam not to eat from this tree, otherwise you will die.
Yeah.
Because Adam went against the will of God, God knew for this to happen, but he didn't determine for this to happen. Is that correct? Did I still man your argument correctly?
Yes.
Good.
So what
I'm saying when we say God's knowledge is fixed, we mean God's determination. God determined it.
So you're saying that, okay, so to make
Hold on.
We've been going up back and forth on this for a long time. And I'll say this one more time, if God has determined me to commit adultery 5 times, but then he tells me 100 times that I can read the Quran or whatever it is, don't commit adultery, this and that, there's no way that I'm not going to commit adultery 5 times. Because he's determined that.
Okay,
right?
so I'm going to simulate
no.
Okay,
So
fine. Let me simulate that.
Let me. This is the point that I'm trying to make.
Go ahead.
When it comes to knowledge and force and fixed and can't escape.
Yeah, to
Sorry,
support that. So I just
one
want
second.
to support that, right? The Prophet said, this is Sahih al-Bukhari 6614.
Yeah.
The Prophet said, Adam and Moses argued with each other.
Yes.
Moses said to Adam, "Oh Adam, you are our father who disappointed us and turned us out of paradise." Then Adam said to him, "Oh Moses, Allah favored you with his talk, and he wrote the Torah for you with his own hand.
Yes.
Do you blame me for the action which Allah had written in my fate 40 years before my creation?" So Adam confuted Moses, and Adam confuted Moses. The Prophet added, repeating the statement 3 times. So Adam is saying that you are saying that you are being punished for my sin. Adam is saying the sin is not my fault.
No, he's not saying that.
That's what he's saying.
He's saying that God decreed for this to happen.
Yes, he says, in other words, he said, don't blame me.
No.
It's not my fault. That's what that Adam is saying there.
In the sense that he went against the will of God, but God determined for this to happen.
So Adam is still exactly. Adam is saying it's not my fault.
Right. The thing is, okay. The point is
we would blame Adam.
We would blame Adam.
Wait. Does he say he's not to be blamed?
Us.
Does he say that in the hadith?
Yeah.
He didn't say that. He just said God decreed for this to happen.
Yeah, but he's saying it's not my fault. That's why he would say. That's what the reason why he would say.
Complaining it's not his fault.
Do you blame me for action which Allah had? Do you blame me for action which Allah had written in my?
No, you can't get off the hook that easy.
Wait, hold on.
Go ahead.
Do you blame me for action which Allah had written in my fate 40s before my creation?
Thank you.
Do you blame me?
That is the point. We believe that God fixed everything, either obeying him or disobeying him. This is what the Adam is talking about. He's not saying I'm not to be blamed because I committed that sin. It's because I'm not blamed in the sense that God already determined for this to happen. But he's not saying, because he's saying it's written, but he's not saying that I'm not responsible.
And we need to believe this to be a Muslim.
Yes,
Why would
we
he?
have to believe?
Why would he?
Yes, we have.
If you say blame has got to do with who's accountable and who's responsible. That's why he would say he's accounting blame. He's saying, why are you blaming me?
We believe in predestination, the good and evil, and the bad.
Predestination.
Yes.
Cheers. I wanted to ask another question. To be honest,
No, sorry. Can I go back to
Oh,
Timothy's
okay, so
point?
go on.
So you simulate. So I'm going to simulate the example you gave from the hadith about adultery writing 10 times with Adam.
Okay.
The fact that in the hadith it mentions that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala already fixed for this person to commit adultery. Okay? Now, you know from the Quran and the Sunnah that God told us not to do it. God commanded us not to commit adultery, correct?
From what I know.
Yeah, of course. Okay? So let me simulate that into the story of Adam.
Actually, can I say one thing?
Sorry, can I
No, please. You said about adultery.
Okay.
Technically speaking, that's not true.
What? We're not being told not to commit adultery?
No, because according to I'm not going to change the subject, but according to Surah 4:24, it allows you to have sex or to marry those in your possession.
No, but that's your definition.
No, hold on.
No. One second.
Yeah, but definitions are important.
Wait,
Definitions are important because they're already married,
Timothy, no, we're not
and
going-
you're allowed to marry them.
Okay,
That's adultery.
Right. That's
So,
your. That's,
that's
It doesn't matter.
That's universally understood as
That's
adultery.
okay. That's your understanding.
So I have to point that out.
Right, it's not.
Talk
no
about
problem.
another sin, maybe.
It's okay,
That's
it's okay,
fine.
it's
But I
okay,
can't
you
give you
put up
that.
adultery.
Can we
To
close
the
and do
point-
2 minute, 2 minute
So I'm saying.
finish?
So you said.
that okay?
You said that. Yeah.
Thanks,
so
Tim.
you
I need to
said.
get something to eat, man.
Likewise, do I hand?
Can we? Yeah, sure. You said that Allah fixed for this person to commit adultery, whatever, 10 times,
like say,
right?
yeah.
And it's written down, right? Therefore, God determined, and therefore you're not. Therefore, you are not to be blamed. Okay. Whereas you believe in the story of Adam, that Adam was commanded not to eat from this tree, but because he went against the will of God, he died, obviously spiritually, yeah? So
physically.
Okay, fine, physically.
but that's
Okay,
something
no
we
problem,
should
no
bear in
problem.
mind.
Right, and the reason why God punished Adam is because Adam was aware of God commanded him not to go from this tree. I'm saying it's exactly the same with the hadith, because God commanded us not to commit adultery, but because he determined for this person to commit adultery, and he knew from his knowledge, it's written down.
Do you see how you said determined and no? Do you see that? No, but you see that. You're conflating knowledge and determination. You're putting them together. You said he knew, Allah knew, and also determined.
That's determined.
No, but why are you saying two separate words?
Do you know what determined means?
Do you? Because you're using them the same way.
I know what determined means.
What's the difference between in what you said just now? What's the difference between the determination and the knowledge?
Okay, knowledge is possessing information.
Determination is
meaning measured.
what?
An absolute measure, like in its
Determined,
fixed measurement.
caused to occur in a particular
I
way.
don't go by Google.
Okay, so then tell me
No,
what.
wait. This is about
one second.
establishing.
I'm saying.
Let's give various definitions come to a common understanding.
I'm saying determination means it's fixed.
We're back to fixing
It's
it.
caused
in
to
the
occur in a
dictionary, it
particular
doesn't.
way
I
or
don't
to have a
agree
particular nature.
We have our own Islamic definition.
Okay, but what
And
then-
is so sorry. So
what do you use for causing something if you don't use determined?
Yeah, we use qadr. Qadr meaning.
I'm so sorry, Tony. We're wrapping up.
no, but I wanted to clarify.
Qadr means it's pre-measured.
Is what
exact
wait
To fix
is what Allah
conclusively. To fix conclusively.
yeah. So is what Allah determines, is that fixed?
Yes.
Is his knowledge fixed?
Yes.
What's the difference?
There is no difference. That's my whole point. Why?
That's the problem.
But you agree that God's knowledge is fixed. So he's determined.
What I'm saying is all
So he
knowing.
determined.
He's all knowing.
But he determined.
Bro, I've given my explanation about
Do you know what?
Raihan, I've given my explanation about 3 times.
Fixed and determination is synonymous.
I've given my explanation.
So then why
about
don't you
3
say
times.
that Allah determines you to sin?
Yeah.
You do.
So then you can't blame. Then you can't say that. This, if, for example,
But you said,
wait, hold on a second. Hold on.
Why should Adam be blamed then? Why should Adam be blamed if God determined?
No, we're not
But
going.
No, that's what you say. That's your definition of determination.
No,
We don't.
because
We
what
don't
you're doing
believe
is,
that.
What you're doing is in the Quran, you know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded Adam not to eat from this tree. So he was commanded, just like
I don't know the Quranic version.
right.
No, but
then that's the problem then.
that's fine. No, that's
Sorry,
fine. The
that's
problem
the
is
problem.
at the same.
problem. I'm using my own example from my scriptures. You know,
I
so
think
let
what
me.
you're doing is isolation.
I'm not. I don't. Wait.
No,
don't
there's no
accuse
problems.
me.
It's
Wait.
our beliefs. There's no
Don't
problems.
say I'm in
You don't have to
isolation.
agree, of course.
Yeah, you have to agree.
What I'm saying is this, simply put, right? Is that, and I'll say it. The last thing I'll say, right? And then you can say whatever you need to say.
Okay, no
and
problem.
Then
Then
whatever.
we'll wrap it
right?
up.
I'm saying, according to our understanding, right?
Sorry.
It makes sense for someone to be judged, them to be held accountable for their actions because they've been told,
100%.
right, not to do something.
Not
and
determined to do something.
However, if I was going within your paradigm, right, and it was, and I sinned, I went against the legislative things, right, but I know that whatever I do has been determined by Allah, then how can I go against Allah's determination? Whatever he
But you're not going against Allah's determination.
Hold on.
That's my point.
If Allah has predestined that these things I will do, right, then I will do it. Right? That's going
Is that
to
what
happen.
Adam said? Is that what Adam said?
No, I'm talking from your perspective.
No, we believe in Adam.
No, hear me.
You don't know
hear
the
me.
Quranic version.
It's not about the
according to you.
Quranic version, bro.
You just said
it's
it.
not about the Quranic.
Should I bring up Surah
One
Al-Baqarah?
second.
It's
One
exactly-
second. My example was
my
friend.
Yeah, but the point is,
Raihan, the example that I gave.
It's exactly the same.
Raihan, the example I gave earlier was this: if Allah has determined that I'm going to commit adultery 5 times,
Yes.
it doesn't matter if I hear Allah's
You
words
can't
on it or
escape it.
not. I can't escape it. It's fixed. I will do it. And then when it comes to Judgment Day, wait, I want to land now, please. When it comes to Judgment Day, I'll look at Allah and say, well, hey, this is how you made me. You fixed it.
Okay.
How can you even
Hold
be
me
a fair
accountable.
judge?
Yeah, how can you hold me
Okay.
accountable?
Now-
This is a big problem.
Timothy,
this is a huge problem.
Because you're not aware about the story of Adam in the Quran.
No, it doesn't matter.
Oh,
It doesn't
no.
matter.
Address this scenario. Address this
Okay,
scenario.
I'll
It
address
doesn't
it.
matter.
Just
Come
address
on,
that
bro.
scenario.
I'll address it.
No, we're ending.
I'll address it.
We're
I'll address it.
ending.
Nonetheless.
If we agree that Allah's knowledge is fixed means determination. So you agree? It's just semantics.
Excuse me.
I made my point. I made my point very
thing?
clear. I made my point very.
What
very
does determination mean?
Well, I went to the dictionary definition,
What does it mean?
And you rejected that.
Conclusive.
You rejected it.
So God concluded that Adam
You rejected
committed
the definition.
The sin, will commit the sin.
You rejected
God
the definition.
knew that Adam would commit the sin.
Go on.
I can come in here, please. Just for a second.
Sorry, one second. God created Adam, correct? God created the nature of Adam. God created the soul of Adam. So couldn't God, so if Adam committed
And then if you
sin,
go to Tafsir
then
as well,
by
it also says this was
logic
sent
and
out.
rationality, God must have created his sin.
Yeah, you're correct. Okay,
But he
here's the
disagrees.
problem.
But
I know, I don't. Here,
So he's coming from
the
a
topic-
different.
Yeah, this is probably what he
No, I'm
believes.
trying to come
Okay,
into
let's
run it up.
Every matter, small and large, is written
From a
precisely
logical
indeed the righteous.
perspective, from a logical perspective.
Go on.
Ollie, wait and hear this. It's
No,
important.
because what's going to happen is
right,
they're
yeah.
going to put on the cameras that we're all Christians,
You can say to the
and you're
cameras,
going to have
I'm
a
not-
different.
I really have to go. I really have to go.
Wait,
Have
so
you
clarify your
got 1
position.
minute?
Okay.
God bless you guys.
1 minute.
You have 1 minute.
Wes, we can speak
You have
later.
1 minute
Next
because you
week.
guys missed the key word in your discussion.
Thank you. Right, guys. Good debate.
You missed the key word in your discussion.
So,
The key word was you're compatible.
talking about predestination fixing of sins to people, how can they be held accountable for a sin that's been fixed?
They keep
I'll be honest to people watching, I do understand that this is a very complicated subject, and I'm going to go and do some more research on it. There were some things that I was thinking about on the spot during this conversation, but looking at it face value, it seems like sins itself are being fixed to people, and also in the same ideology, people are being accounted for these sins. If someone is being accounted for sins that have been fixed to them, how can they be judged for that? That is unfair. Whereas for us, God wills for no man to perish, and that is fulfilled, like I said in the video, through Jesus Christ. That is our choice that we can make so that we can be back in line with God. We can be reborn of spirit again. So yeah, God bless you to the people who are watching. Pray for our speakers at the corner. Thank you. Peace and love to you all.
It's not part of.